She threw her daughter's $85,000 wedding on my dock without permission. I cut the power 15 minutes before the ceremony and made 85 guests evacuate. My name's Travis Norton. I'm 49, a commercial fisherman on Lake Minnetonka, Minnesota, in the small town of Excelsior, where I own a 60-foot wooden dock that my family built in 1978, rebuilt in 2019 with $35,000 invested. Saturday afternoon at 3:45 p.m., I was coming home from the marina and saw my dock completely transformed, with a white wedding arch standing, 80 white chairs arranged in rows, a red carpet runner laid out, string lights everywhere covering 200 feet, 6 catering tables fully set, a DJ booth ready, and a complete wedding setup. 85 people were waiting there with the bride in her white dress, groom in his tuxedo, and a photographer positioning shots for the ceremony, scheduled at 4 p.m., just 15 minutes away. Nobody had asked me, nobody called me, but this was my dock and my property. I recognized the mother of the bride as Diane Foster, 54 years old, president of Lakeside Manor HOA with 130 luxury homes next door, and she acts like she owns everything around here. Diane had assumed it was community property, but she was wrong. This has been mine since 1978 with the deed, building permit, and receipts to prove it. I called 911 immediately and reported trespassing with an unauthorized event on private property. At 3:55 p.m., the sheriff arrived, examined my deed, confirmed my ownership, then walked onto the dock and announced, "This is private property. The event must cease. Evacuate now." Confusion erupted as Diane argued loudly, but the sheriff repeated firmly, "You're trespassing. Leave immediately." At 4 p.m., right when the ceremony should start, I flipped my dock power switch and the lights died instantly. DJ equipment went silent and the microphone went dead. Guests stood staring in shock. The bride started crying. The groom looked furious, and Diane was screaming at everyone. I grabbed my tools and unbolted the last 2 dock sections for legal maintenance work, making the platform feel unstable, so people rushed off, scared for their safety. By 4:08 p.m., the dock was completely empty, the ceremony was canceled, and Diane was threatening to sue me. The next day, a lawyer letter arrived claiming a verbal agreement with the previous owner, who died in 2015, which was worthless because Minnesota requires written agreements for all real property matters. I discovered even more problems. Lakeside Manor had been using my dock for 8 years without authorization, with 130 residents launching kayaks freely with no permission and no payment to me. The nearest public dock was 3.2 miles away from their neighborhood. I installed a locked gate and cut off all access, which made the HOA panic immediately. My invoice totaled cleaning $2,800, stress compensation $5,000, legal fees $3,500, lost income $1,200, for a total of $12,500. Diane paid grudgingly, but a bigger settlement was still needed. The HOA required lake access desperately since 130 homes were landlocked, otherwise without my dock. My terms were past use for 8 years, costs $25,000, plus a 10-year contract at $800 monthly totaling $96,000 for the decade. And if they miss any payment, the gate locks permanently. Residents voted 118-9 and removed Diane as president immediately. The photographer sued Diane separately for $15,000 because the wrong venue completely ruined all the photos. Now my dock has a sign reading, "Private property, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted." Nobody throws parties on my dock anymore without permission. Subscribe for more HOA karma stories.